Hi everyone, how's it going? My name is Shivam and I figured that this time around we can do a new section. The new section is basically me freewheeling for a few minutes and kind of cataloging my thoughts. And I promise that I'm only going to do this video when I think I really have something to say and something has come up with me that I feel I really want to share with you. Corona's winding down in the US here and recently gyms have opened back up and I've had the chance to go to my local gym and do a workout and it's been awesome. And while I was doing that, I realized just how weak I had become and I've kind of lost all the previous gains that I've had. But at the same time, even though I was kind of bummed a little bit that I lost all my gains, I was mostly happy. I was happy for the rest of the week and I really appreciated working out even though it wasn't going very well for me. And I knew that my gains had diminished a lot since I actually started out. That's when I realized what I began to appreciate about working out. Weights don't lie. The feedback that you get from doing weights or going to the gym is very real. Either you can lift a certain weight or you can't. There's no in between. And that's what I really appreciated about working out. Actually, having this level of feedback was very useful for me because knowing exactly where I stand with reference to the weights actually allowed me to identify areas where I could grow and identify the exact next weight I needed to pick up to get to the next level of growth, which is awesome. That got me thinking about situations where I may or may not have actually used live completely objective feedback and where those spaces don't exist. Let me give you an example of subjective feedback. For example, supposing I'm playing a game of tennis and while I'm playing a game of tennis, I'm playing someone who's just as good as me or a little bit weaker than me. I'm obviously going to feel great because I was able to beat him or her. But the feedback that I got on my game was completely dependent on how they played and they didn't play that good. So it's kind of subjective. Now the conundrum is, how can I set up these spaces for feedback on the regular such that I'm giving myself objective feedback at every space that I go to? Amongst many processes, I think two processes are the ones that I access the most and which I recommend that you guys try it out as well. The first is have a few set of friends who are going to be brutally honest about your level of development. And those friends would obviously know the skills required for you to grow in that particular domain. So for example, if I want feedback on how I am enunciating in this video, I know that I have a friend that I would reach out to who would give me feedback on that, and that person would be brutally honest. The challenge with finding people to give you feedback is, one, they should care enough, and the second thing is they should be brave enough to be honest, which is really difficult. Most people don't want to risk telling you the truth and put your relationship with them at jeopardy. That's why I love putting them at ease. Every time they give me some kind of feedback, I'll say, you know what, thank you so much for your feedback. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate your input. That puts them at ease. That lets them know it's a safe space to give me some kind of critical feedback which I can grow. So that is somewhat objective. And the second tool that I use is reflection. Once I am able to identify what excellence looks like in any skill set, it allows me to a very large extent identify where I stand on the spectrum to where I want to be. Let me give you a recent example of this. I wanted to figure out the audio production for my podcast. Now the thing is that every time I listened to my podcast, it sounded like dog shit. It sounded terrible. But every time I heard examples of great podcasts around me, I realized that the sound was incredible and it made me want to just switch the video off and just listen to the audio and the sound. That inspired me to actually work on the audio. So the feedback that I received from my podcast, which I reflected upon, helped me identify the next steps that I needed to do to increase my skill at sound production and podcasting as well. Similarly, I encourage you guys to get feedback from some valuable people and work on reflecting upon your own performance over a period of time. And I hope that this was useful for you. This is a new segment I'm trying out where I'm mostly just freewheeling ideas and thoughts. And if you liked the content, then go ahead and let me know that you liked it, either via DM or like through, since most of you guys who are listening are my friends, go ahead and send me a text or go ahead and comment or like, and then we'll see what happens from there. Thank you so much, everyone, and have a great rest of your day.